Hi everyone, my name is ILA MONICAL and I created You Know Me, Not My Story, and I created this as my community service initiative for the Miss North Carolina preliminary local competitions. And today I will be interviewing a very special guest, Miss Emily Deans, the creator of I Am Mad, Making a Difference. By the way, this series is called You Know Them, Not Their Story. Hi!
Hey,
It's been so long, I miss you!
I know, I miss you.
So, tell me a little bit about MAD.
So, MAD is my social impact statement I take to the Miss North Carolina prelims, and it stands for making a difference. And I make a difference by volunteering in the communities and giving back to my small town of Middlesex and the neighboring communities as Bailey and Zebulon and all of that.
Great! So, I think because this series is now called You Know Them, Not Their Story. What is your
Mhm.
story?
My story goes back to about fifth grade when I started getting bullied for my size. Um, it was just really hard for me because, I was a pageant girl and, I was being bullied for doing pageants. And so I stopped doing pageants for 5 years and I started recently doing them again. And it has brought me back out of my shell and it has made much more friendships because COVID kind of put me in isolation where I wouldn't talk to anybody. And I feel like teens today just do that anyways. And it brought me out of my shell again. And I started making new friends and things like that.
Yeah, I feel like the whole quarantine thing has completely warped everyone's view of the
Mm-hmm.
world because,
Yeah.
nobody wants to do anything anymore. I mean, you hear people say it every single day. Nobody wants to do this, nobody wants to do that, but we don't really get to the point and the root of why we don't want to do it. No one really brings it up. And I think the whole root of the problem is because we're not talking about it enough. So when we get these kids out of their shell, like you got out of your shell, they will finally experience what they love and they will finally realize what they love and what they want to do now. And that's why you started doing pageants again, which is an amazing journey. And it's so disappointing to see how getting bullied completely warps your view of yourself. I remember in I want to say about seventh grade was the first time I really looked in the mirror and I didn't like what was looking back right at me. And I think that's such a, I don't want to use like the word disappointing, but it is very disappointing. Like it's just so upsetting. That's the word. It's
Mm-hmm.
very upsetting to see
Yes.
because I mean I was 12. I was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Seventh grade. I was in middle school looking at my mirror and being like, not really. No, I don't really like that. But
Yeah.
now, since I've gone back into pageants, because I also went through that kind of experience where I just didn't want to do it anymore. It felt like a chore to me.
Mm-hmm.
Get up there, wear a sparkly dress, and just do my makeup, do my hair, whatever. I didn't want to do it. I really didn't want
Mm-hmm.
to do it. But now
Mm-hmm.
I cannot stop talking about it. My mom,
Yes.
I'm surprised she hasn't like worn earplugs around me when I keep talking about it. Like it's insane. Why do you think these things like happen to teens today? Like what makes you think that like, oh, why is this kid being bullied for their size? Like this makes no sense. Why do you think this?
I feel like the teens today are too busy comparing themselves to models when, you know, their lives aren't perfect and nobody's lives is perfect. And that's why I don't really like Instagram and I don't really follow a lot of models like that because I had a trouble, comparing myself to models and it was just really upsetting to me because I realized what I was doing. I was comparing myself to somebody that was posting their life online. And if you just set your phone down for 5 seconds, you know, you can look around in the world and you can see fun things going on and like festivals and things like that. And, just getting out in your community and going and just looking around. But I feel like are too busy comparing themselves. And when they compare themselves, they get upset and then they take it out on other people. And it's not fun to go through either side of that because you're just doing it to quote make yourself feel better, but it's just, it's not making anybody feel better. And if you just put that aside of yourself and don't compare yourself to others, then you wouldn't have that problem. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Hmm. I feel like I love what you said about just like going out, experiencing the world, what the world has to offer, with festivals. And
Mm-hmm.
also, sorry if you hear like my mom yelling at my dogs in the background because they're
Oh,
actually insane.
yeah, my dog's right here scratching himself, so I had to tell him to stop because it was so loud.
In the background, all you hear is because my dogs are like scratching on their kennels because they're like in their
Uh,
kennels and they're just trying to go to bed,
yeah.
or I
Mm-hmm.
want them to go to bed, and all they're doing is
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yes.
my coach is like, what was that? I was like, we don't have to talk about that. We don't
Yeah.
want to talk about that.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back to this episode, how has Mad made a difference so far?
Mad has been doing a lot of work. I started using this platform when I was about 7 years old. And, I wanted a fresh start when I came back. And so I kind of changed it up just a little bit and focused more on the Ronald McDonald House, which I loved volunteering my time there. And so I thought, let's do that. And I did. And I came up with Get a Hand. And not saying and like bashing myself or whatever, but I felt that I was focusing on just one thing and teaching people that, you have to choose one thing and like, that's not about what volunteerism is. And so I was like, I did a lot of fun things with my, OLM platform. And so I want to bring it back. And so I did. And I Am Mad has encouraged, young people to volunteer. And with my mom's pageant, I've actually encouraged all of them to volunteer with the Sweet Potato Festival. And Ariane, Miss Bailey right now, is the sweetest little thing. And she has volunteered so much time in her community. And it's just really, like heartwarming to me because I made that influence and she is amazing.
That must be so exciting for because I know, is it Harley Murray?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yes.
She was Teen Miss Bailey and now she's Jacksonville's teen. That must be so
Yes.
exciting. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
I cannot wait
Yes.
to follow her on her journey.
I know.
It's
I'm
gonna be
so
amazing.
excited for her. Yes.
Mhm. Such a she's like a great example. Her and I also think Miss Smithfield's teen, Kaylee Stavlos,
Yes.
her
Yes.
and Kaylee are a prime example of what the sisterhood is all about and what
Yes.
this whole organization is all about. They are
Amen.
just not
Yes.
only are they beautiful on the outside, but they're also gorgeous on the inside. They are the
Yes.
sweetest people that you will probably ever meet in the system.
Mm-hmm.
As well as Carly Ramsey, another friend that
Yes.
I've met through the Miss North Carolina system. Let me just think because I've met so many amazing people. It's hard to like pinpoint it down.
Mm-hmm.
Abby Kate Daughtry, she's Santa County's
Yes.
teen. She is such a sweet
Yes.
girl. Cameron Dilday, she's Moore County's
Mm-hmm.
teen. They're all just so amazing,
Yes.
so sweet.
Yes.
They have done so much to completely just prepare themselves for state, and I cannot wait for this outcome. So, who or what has inspired you to compete in the Miss North Carolina system?
My sister competed in the Miss North Carolina organization, and I was a Carolina princess for her from age 7 to 12. And I was sitting in the I forgot which one it was. I think I was sitting in the Miss Johnston County Carolina Princess section, and I was just about to turn 12, so I was like aging out. And I looked over to one of my friends and I said, we should do this. And she was like, you can go up there and do this, but I will never do this. And so I was like, I never really thought of it again. And then my mom was like, you're of age now. And so I went and watched Miss Zebulon this past year and I looked at it and I watched all the all the queens come in and, do visiting queens and things like that. And so I called my sister after that pageant. I said, you better get your training pants on because Emily's going to Miss Wilson. And so I went to Miss Wilson and it was a great experience. And then I did Miss Johnson County this past year and it was a great experience. And I met Isla. And Isla's the sweetest little thing ever. So
Well, that makes me so happy. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I just remember walking in, all I see is these hot, did you wear hot pink leggings? Is that what it was? All I see is hot pink leggings and like the cutest little like cheetah leopard print like long sleeve shirt, and I'm like, I need to find out where she gets her clothes. And I just remember her being the sweetest girl ever, and just like, and we both did OLM. I don't think we did it together, did we?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But you were like at events with Miss Tiara. Mm-hmm. So, and I served on that court for 2 years, so I was like, hey, I don't know who you are, but hey.
I mean, I've seen you, but I don't really. But yeah, I loved my time at OLM. If they ever like do that again, like
I want to be a part of it.
I'd put my Carolina Princess up for that because she's the sweetest.
Yes.
But yeah,
I missed them having that.
Yeah, that was so fun because I remember I went to state for Wilmington's Outstanding Little Miss, yeah. But I don't think I went to state for Johnston County's Little Miss.
Yeah, I was Dunn's preteen, and that was the last one I did. And then I was Little Miss Garner and Petite Miss Garner, and then served on 2 years with Miss Tiara. So
yeah, I just remember
I always wanted one of those little pink crowns.
Oh yeah, and the capes.
Oh, yes,
the big capes with like the fur, everything. I was like, I need that right now.
I know.
Like, I don't care if I have to go on Amazon and buy one for myself.
I know.
I will get
Those things were so cool.
I love them. But yeah, oh my gosh, that brings me back. I remember, like, I used to be Little Miss for so long. My first ever one, I was Tiny Miss Wilmington. And then Wilmington's Outstanding Little Miss. And then I just remember up until, I want to say, 2021, I was Little Miss. Like, 2015 to 2021, for some reason, I was always stuck in Little Miss. And then I was junior. Mm-hmm. And now I'm teen.
I know, right? It's like crazy to think about.
It's insane. Like, I'm about to be a sophomore.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I can't.
It's like I should be Willow's age. Like, I should be a Carolina Princess. I shouldn't be a teen.
I remember I did a little bit with Carolina Princess. My miss didn't win a prelim. We only did like I think 2 competitions, but it was so fun. I loved it so much. I remember one of the songs, what was it? I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah.
You were in that one too? We had like purple outfits.
I think so.
Bro. What pageant was this? Hold on. I'm gonna have to look back at these books. My mama has pageant books stacked up.
Did we know each other before this?
I don't know. We probably
Oh my gosh, my face is getting red. I'm like,
me too. I want to say it was like
Goldsboro? I know she did Goldsboro, Wilmington, and Spivey's.
Uh-huh. It might have been Spivey's.
It was. Well, we have less than a minute.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much for coming on. This was a really weird twist. But thank you. All right. Bye. I'll see you later.